Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I am going to do a collective oracle. No, I'm going to do. What? I'm going to leave this in. Normally, when I fumble that bad with the beginning, I usually redo it. I don't even know if I ever told you guys that because sometimes I mess up something and I'm like, I'm going to redo it. I'm going to do a collective, a crow oracle for today. Today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, we absolutely love that for you. God's kiss. Whatever doesn't, leave it on the table for someone else. You don't need to take on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use the Urban Crow Oracle by MJ Cullinane. I usually delete it and then restart. You know what's funny is I should start saving those videos for bloopers. Like when I decide, okay, I'm going to restart, I should just like nix it and then save it as like a little blooper and then do like a blooper reel. I don't know how to string videos together. I don't even know if I can do that on the freaking iPad without some type of software. But maybe I could talk to somebody. Maybe somebody else would know. Because that would be kind of funny. Just put out a blooper reel. I mean, I guess technically every video is a blooper reel because I'm always making mistakes with my speech and stuff. We got one on the table. We got 4 on the table. Let's do 2 more shuffles. Okay, now all of a sudden I feel like I have something in my eye. Last shuffle. We got play, freedom, night, bond, and bottom of the deck, protection. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. Okay. So there's 2 things that could be going on here. I'm going to tell you the first one. And this first one is not at all my first thought when these cards fell out. But it could resonate for somebody, so I'm going to say it. So technically this is option number 2, but I'm not going to talk about this forever cuz it's kind of, I just heard everyday occurrence. Somebody was playing at being free when in fact they're in a protected union, bond, relationship, situation, whatever the case. And it's kind of funny because with the Knight card and the Moon, I'm just getting that it's probably known. Like, and I'm just going to give an example because, like I said, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this option here, because it would be like a whole town knowing that Danny and Sue are married, right? Like they grew up together, high school sweethearts, got married, had 2 kids, right? and we'll just go with hetero norms here. We'll do stereotypical. But Danny, when he meets like a new woman that comes to town or somebody passing through, he acts as though like he's not married, he's not in a relationship, he doesn't have kids, like he's free as a jaybird, right? Is free as a jaybird? Free as a bird. How about that? It that's, yeah. Like people know that this person is with somebody, but they act like they're free. They act like they're not with somebody. They act like they don't have some type of connection with somebody. And like I said, that connection is protected. So like they're with the person that they're supposed to be with. And you might not like, somebody might not like me saying this, but you know, even karmics are sometimes supposed to be with karmics, right? Even karmics are sometimes supposed to be with people that should be healing. Like some things are just meant to be the way they're meant to be. And I think I talked about that twice today already, about how like we're always a karmic to somebody else and they're a karmic to somebody else and so on and so on. But then you meet your person and you're not necessarily a karmic, right? But this is giving more of this person as a karmic. They're together with their person. It's protected. So maybe they're both karmics, or maybe it's just a situation that's supposed to play out and they're supposed to learn what they learn from it. And that's why it's protected. I mean, take how it resonates. The original option, the one that I felt when the cards fell out, and it's all along the same lines, but a little bit different. Whoever this person is that's playing around, they're supposed to free themselves from whatever they're involved in or not involved in, right? Because again, it could be somebody just like living the single life, but they're supposed to be in some type of protected union. So this would be like a karmic, not taking care of themselves, not learning the lessons, not growing, not healing. But in actuality, they're supposed to be working on themselves and moving towards a protected connection with another person who is healing, working on themselves, and all that stuff. And again, with the Knight card, the moon lightens the way. The moon shows the truth of a situation, of a life, of a person, whatever the case. The moon could also be significant to one of these people or both of these people. Something about the moon could be significant. And and I'm just going to throw this out here because this is me. This is my example. This is, part of my story. If you follow, if you subscribe, you might might remember some of my story. I have a tattoo on the bottom side of my ear, and it says "My Moon," because ever since I was a little girl, I always thought of the moon as a masculine figure. I know it's primarily thought of as feminine. I get it. I understand why. But as a little girl, I always thought of it as masculine. And I always referenced the moon as my counterpart, and I am the sun. The sun, the moon, like they're counterparts, soulmates, if you will, opposites attract kind of thing. Yeah. So, like for me, the moon is important in my life because I look at that as my counterpart. Like if I ever meet my counterpart, if my soulmate ever comes in, like they're my moon and I'm the sun to their moon. Does that make sense? So for whoever these two people are, it might be like something similar. Like one of them resonates with the moon, one of them loves the moon, whatever the case. They're dicking around. It I don't think it would be the same for every situation, but I do think there's a possibility that for a good many, like this person knows that they're supposed to go towards somebody or be in a connection with somebody. And when you look at the bond card, it does give like a romantic kind of flair to it, right? Like a family kind of flair. Take how it resonates because it doesn't even necessarily need to be romantic. Yeah, they're. What is that? People are commenting on my posts on Facebook. But yeah, it gives the energy of somebody like messing around. Like they know they're supposed to go in a certain direction and they're just not going there. I mean, it's basically like the tale as old as time, right? Like like you're doing something karmic or unhealthy for you, and you know that you should be moving in a more positive direction, but you stay anchored, you know, maybe drugs, alcohol, sex, club scene, gambling. I mean, whatever. There's a million vices and addictions out there. And you know that you're supposed to be moving in a more positive direction, and you know that um you know that your life is supposed to be on a certain path. Like you felt it, you heard it, you've seen it, whatever the case, gotten messages, signs, and you still don't. You still don't. And I was just talking about this in the last reading because I did a love oracle with crystal banners deck, and the character in the reading, like they were in regret, like they were living in regret, like they were really upset, they were grief stricken, they regretted not taking action, right? This person might not feel that right now, but at some point, like if they continue on the path that they're on and they totally bypass this and this was meant for them, I'm and this is just me, right? This is just me. I'm a firm believer that the karma that person gets from bypassing a connection, not going in the direction that they're supposed to go when they know they are, okay? It doesn't matter, lover situation, friends, family, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm a firm believer that you get to stand by and watch. That this person gets to stand by and watch somebody else live the life of their dreams. And that doesn't even necessarily mean that whoever this other person is, meets their other, gets married, has kids, wins $1 million. What it doesn't even necessarily mean that. It just means that this person gets to turn around and watch this other person live their life and be happy in whatever way that means for them, right? Abundance is whatever you want it to be. And then they realize that they fucked it up. Like they could have been living happy too, but they fucked it up. They could have brought that good karma on themselves, but they fucked it up. I'm a firm believer that that's usually the karma. Like, you fuck somebody over in a certain way, you're going to see that come back to you. If you just walk away from a situation and you don't do what you're supposed to do, if you don't say what you're supposed to do, that's going to come back on you. And I'm just going to use this as an example. You guys know I use my own life here, but I'm just going to say it. The guy that I was in love with last year, I kept getting messages from God to reach out to him, to talk to him, like in person. And I told you guys before, if you follow, if you subscribe, I told you before, like, I already felt like I had caused so much chaos there that I didn't want to, like, burden him. I didn't want to put him into a corner. I didn't want to make him feel harassed. I mean, we worked together. I didn't want to end up in HR. So I don't want to say as little as possible, but I tried to leave a print as little as possible, which life print, I guess you would say, as little as possible, which was me writing him a letter, and my friend gave it to him, and he never responded. I still reached out, and it's funny because after the fact, after I did that, I was still getting messages like, like, you need to talk to him. Like, you need to go up to him and talk to him. And finally I said to God, I said, you know what? I said, I respect your opinion. I said, but this is my life. And as a human, as a human that's been a human before, and other entities, I'm sure, like, I explained my thought process to him, to God. I had a conversation with God, and I explained my thought process to him. And it was funny because for a few days it was kind of like radio silence. And then I started getting messages that were more positive for me, like doing the right thing. And, at least I put the energy out there, and, I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't want to, harass him. I did what I could without causing any more disruption to his life, because I didn't want to do that. Like, I really was thinking more of him than myself in that moment. So, like, I got that affirmation after the fact, like, okay, maybe you did do the right thing, And actually, it's funny because ever since then, when I hear messages, see messages, get messages, it's almost like the tables turned. Because at the beginning, it was like I was getting messages like, oh, I'm the asshole. Like, I need to talk to him, right? Like, I caused the problem. I need to talk to him. But when I tried to rectify it and he wasn't having it, it was like the tables turned. And now I get messages that he regrets not answering that call, not writing a letter back, not texting me, not calling me, not talking to me. So it's almost like I tried to do the right thing as best I could, and God recognized it. And unfortunately, now it's almost like, okay, he didn't do what he needed to do. He didn't do what he could have done. So it's almost like he's the one that's in question. Does that make sense? And that wasn't at all my intention when I did that. My intention was just to be like, hey, like, I'm doing what I can within the parameters, because again, I didn't want to lose my job. And I told you, and if you follow, if you subscribe, I told you guys before, I don't get involved with people I work with. Not like that, not romantically. Like, he's the first guy I've fallen in love with at work in a very long time. A very long time. So I did what I could at the time with what I had, the know-how that I had. And I think God, my angels, my ancestors, my dearly departed loved ones, like, okay, fine. Like, she tried to do what she could with as little impact as, to his life as possible. And then the fact that he Unfortunately, I think it kind of turned the tide for him. And that's why when I tell you guys, like, I think there's still anger there, I think it's because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. And that's the thing here. Like, whoever this is that's playing around, that's not going in the direction that they're supposed to go in, like, eventually there's going to be regret there. Eventually. And the thing is it's all about you. You know what I mean? Like, you should always do what's best for you and what's in your best interest to the best of your ability. So, like, this person, not like, if they don't, like, if, okay, let me put it like this. If I know that someone's my divine counterpart and I look at this person and I'm like, no, like, I don't want this person, for whatever reason, right? It doesn't matter. Whatever reason. I'm like, no, I don't want this person. Like, I'm going to have a conversation with God. My angels, my ancestors, my dearly departed loved ones. I'm going to be like, look, guys, look, sis, this ain't happening. Like, I don't want this person. This person, no, big no, big no. It's one thing to do that, to recognize what's in front of you, to not want to go in that direction, and to actually try and take part in your life like that, as opposed to somebody that sees where they're supposed to go, who they're supposed to be with, and just saying, yeah, I think I'm going to go have sex with the waitress down the street. Or I think I'm going to go do, drugs at the bar. Or I think I'm going to go to the casino and spend my life savings. If you don't want to go in a direction, if you don't want to be with a person, whatever the case may be, say something. It's your life. Put that intention out there. It's just like the guy at work that I was walking with. He's overweight. I'm overweight. He was the guy, if you subscribe, in 2024, we went out, he invited himself for a walk with me. We met for a walk. I asked him, do you want to do breakfast? He thought it was a date. It was not a date. It wasn't a date. Like, I thought we were friends. And then he interviews me for a wife position that I didn't apply for. Well, this past year, I started walking. He saw that I was walking. He started walking. So we walked together a few times. A couple times we kind of intersected on the trail at the park. I kept going my way. He kept going his. The thing is I went to God. Like, I like, before, like, anything could even, like, I went to God and I said, just so you know, like, I'm not taking this. I'm not taking this mess. And no offense to the guy, but he's just a 60-year-old baby. Like, I'm not looking to take care of another man. I'm not looking to wipe somebody's butt. No offense. I'm not going to pay your bills. I'm not going to take care of you when you're sick. Like, I'm not that woman for you. Like, don't, like, nope. Like, you're literally looking for an end of life partner because you know it's the end of your life. And I'm sorry to put it like that, but that's what it feels like. Like, he's literally scrambling for somebody to take care of him in his old age. And I'm not the girl. So I went to God and I said, I'm not doing this. Like, if you want to put the energy out there to him that, we can be friends, feel free to do that. I said, I will try and put that energy out there to him, but I have no interest in him romantically, sexually, life partner, nothing. Like, nothing. I don't want to have anything to do with him like that. And the sad thing is he did not get it. He did not get it. He kept trying and he kept trying. And maybe that's all a part of his journey. Maybe that was supposed to be part of his lesson. I don't know. But yeah, it just kept seeming like we were thrown back together, and part of that, I guess, is my own fault because I'm too nice. I should have just never went on a walk with him. The thing is, I thought I was being nice. I thought we were being friends. My mistake. But yeah, I ended up, we were friends on Facebook and Instagram. I ended up blocking him. I think he finally realized, because now he doesn't talk to me, which is fine. But, like, and there is a part of me that feels bad for him, but then the other part of me is like, come on, Kim. Like, he's 60 years old. He had 60 years, well, we'll say 40, right? Because you're not an adult till you're like 18, 20-ish. So we'll give him 40 years. He had 40 years to get his act together, and he still hasn't gotten his act together. So, yeah. Like, I feel bad for him, but I don't feel bad for him. But that's like, that's not a good place to be in, realizing you should have gone in a certain direction, not going there, and then you get to watch the person you were supposed to go be with, the situation you were supposed to be in, thrive and flourish and live their life. I'm just saying. I'm going to leave it there. I've rambled on enough. I hope it resonated for somebody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you were entertained. I hope you all have a lovely Wednesday night. Thursday is back to regular scheduled programming. Affirmations in the morning, collective in the evening. Did I talk about it at the beginning of this read, or was I talking about it in the other reading? I'm probably not going to do overtime this weekend. I'll probably be off Saturday and Sunday. That's the plan at this point anyway. Just because it's going to be cold out there, snowing on and off. I don't want to have to deal with it. So I'll probably do a few extra readings Saturday and Sunday. Sunday I usually don't work. So, I might only do like 1 or 2 extra readings. I don't know. But I'll do extra something. I'll put some good vibes out there, hopefully. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night.